Do you? The main event does. I like to buy two Monster Energy drinks from a Stripe store, get two of them for $4, or you can go over to HEB, I believe right now, and get three of them for $5. Three Monster Energy drinks for $5. You can't beat that. Okay, but the reason why I'm bringing up this whole thing with Monster is because I saw something interesting on TV that really got my attention. All right, well, not on TV, but on Facebook. Okay, now, it's bad enough that people decide to go ahead and dispute heavy metal music as the work of the devil music, if you will. And they gotta exploit every other thing, every little aspect that has something to do with the devil, right? They did something very, very creative with this whole thing with the Monster Energy drink. Now, hear me out. I wish I had a can right now so I could show you the whole amplifications and all that shit. And plus, if I did have a Monster Energy drink, I probably would take the can, put it in front of the camera, and say, "This main event talk is brought to you by Monster Energy Drink. Unleash your beast." But in this case, these people go ahead and show the can off and everything. And you know how the can has the M on the front right there? And then it pretty much shows like, something, really, really cool. It's a green M right there in the front. Unleash the Beast. It has the Monster name on it with a little, that line on the zero or on the O, if you will. And it explains a whole lot of things, including when you look at the M closely. They were giving out this little chart, right? And shows that emphatically when you see the M, it's actually 666 upside down. Really? 666 on the Monster logo. When you see it, it says 666. I looked at it closely, and well, it does. I see it they see it that way, and we're kind of seeing it that way too now. But it's like, really? And then they mentioned the Monster name on there, and it has like a cross, or it has like a line right there. It's pretty much an O with a line on it. But when you look at it closely from their point of view, it's a cross. It's a cross. I'm like, it's a cross. Oh my God. And then mentions the whole thing about unleashing the beast, and the beast being the devil. Oh my God. And it's like very, very informative, but at the same time, it's annoying. It is so annoying because these Christianity people, these people that believe in God and everything else like that, and yet they want to go ahead and exploit a Monster Energy drink or any kind of product that has to be related to the devil in some shape, way, or form, or anything like that. And it's stupid. I mean, a long time ago, when they did the whole thing with Judas Priest, and you heard the story about, the two kids that were at some playground or something like that, they had shotguns or something like that. They heard a song called Better By You, Better Than Me from Judas Priest. Great song, by the way. I dig it a whole lot. And then all of a sudden they go ahead and decide that they're going to, I don't know, they must have been high or drunk or something like that. And then they go ahead and shoot themselves and end their lives right there and put a suicide note on the side. And then they take Judas Priest to court, and it took them over a year for this whole thing to come to an end, because they want to exploit Judas Priest because their music is the devil's work. They put it on backwards, right? To hear, kill yourself, shoot yourself, and all this other, what's the word I'm looking for? Hidden messages on a record to make the kids shoot themselves and all this crap, and it's well, first of all, they never won, and Judas Priest had, did what they had to do, and then, Judas Priest is still going on to this day. But it's ridiculous things like that make me realize that, there are so many hypocritical people out there that want to exploit something for nothing. And that's all it is. They're exploiting something for nothing, okay? Like that whole thing that I just talked about. The kids shot themselves, okay? Because they think Judas Priest, heavy metal music has something to do with them killing themselves. Let me tell you what I think. I think that the kids shot themselves because they had no life to live. They wanted to get high, they wanted to get drunk, and they wanted to end their lives quickly. So that way, once they end their lives, they probably were smart enough, in my view, they probably were smart enough to leave a suicide note behind to let them know they're going to kill themselves and then blame somebody for their trouble. And in this case, they tried to blame Judas Priest. Didn't work. And what are they getting out of it in return? Nothing. You know why? Because they're dead. These kids shoot themselves. There's a lot of other people out there that have tendencies of doing drugs, doing alcohol, doing all sorts of things they're not supposed to do, and they get these ridiculous voices inside their head. And I'm not talking about Randy Orton. The fact that they hear these things and they believe that the devil's coming for them, and you hear them in the fucking sky, when in reality they're just hallucinating. They don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. I mean, me, I don't hear voices in my head. I may hear music. I may hear things that I've remembered from a long time ago. And I may have remembered having sex with a woman across the street, but that's a different story. The point is, stupid shit like this, you try to exploit the devil, but what's the point? These kids did not shoot themselves because of the devil. They shot themselves because they were morons. And then the Monster Energy drink. Let me give you a little inside scoop on the Monster Energy drink. Let me tell you exactly what it is. I drink Monster because I can, not because the devil made me, okay? Can you imagine going into a world where they tell you you can't eat this or drink that or do this because it all involves the devil? Oh, I'm not going to go to Nico's Steakhouse because it involves the devil, okay? It's devil meat. You don't want to eat there, okay? Or I don't want to go over to Texas Roadhouse to go eat their meat because it's the devil's work. I don't want to go to a Stripe store or H-E-B to get my hands on a Monster Energy drink because it's the devil's work. Oh God. I don't want to go to Theo's or Bone Shakers or Zero's to drink a beer. Why? Because it's the devil's work. We've heard it all, haven't we? We've heard every single thing. But let me tell